Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to the pre-Thanksgiving edition of Sticks and Stones. I'm your host, Brent Elrod. Happy to be with you today. Going live here on Rumble, YouTube, X. Basically got the entire World Wide Web. I don't even use that kind of language anymore. We got it all. I have an absolutely wonderful pairing coming up today. This is something I have not done in a while, and that is pair some Scotch. Been leaning heavily on the bourbons here of late, and I am not sure why I'm not coming up on there. It says I'm there, but I'm just seeing a black screen. But I'm seeing me there, so I'm hoping it works. If not, I guess you're listening to me. So maybe it's just me. There I am. Oh, all right. There we go. Now everything's going. Now everything's working well. All right. So let's go. Hope I didn't lose everybody right then. Everybody just go away because first 20 seconds. Anyway, I have an absolutely excellent pairing today. I am pairing a Scotch that this has been. It's long. It's in my top 10 Scotches. Probably more like in my top 6 or 7. And that is Bruichladdich. A lot of letters on there. You got to roll it around. But yeah, the Classic Laddie. And you can't miss it when you go in the package store. It's the only thing in there that's baby blue. And I am pairing that with a Perdomo Lot 23 sun grown. They call this a Robusto. I mean, I don't know. It looks a little bigger than a Robusto on the ring gauge to me, but not a Robusto, a Toro, a 6x50, and it looks a little bigger than a 50 on the ring gauge to me. But I'm a guy. We always think it's bigger than what it actually is. So anyway, I'm calling this Coastal Brightness meets Sun Warmed Earth. If you don't know Bruichladdich, they actually had a documentary. I can't remember if it was on Netflix or it was one of those streaming services. It was called like Scotch, the golden drink or something like that. But the entire documentary was on Bruichladdich. It was a defunct distillery in the Islay region, Scotch making region of Scotland. Islay is island on the southwest coast of Scotland, where Bruichladdich, among other Islay Scotch distillers, are. And they brought in this guy that he literally got a job in a Scotch distillery when he was 14 years old. He basically had retired in his 60s, and they brought him to Bruichladdich to resurrect that distillery. And it was his journey through bringing it back to greatness. And the Classic Laddie was one of their first to win awards. And so he then retired again in like 19 at the age of like 72 or 73. And last I heard, I think he had come back to the Scotch again. So hey, once you're in it, I guess. And he's one of the most renowned distillers ever. I mean, been in the industry for 60 years plus. That dude's been around a while. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, the Classic Laddie is a little different than most Islay Scotches. This is an unpeated Scotch. Scotch is made 100% malted barley, and they generally in Islay region they smoke the barley over peat. They cut chunks of peat out of the bogs in Scotland, and they put it in underneath the floors of their drying rooms, and they light the peat on fire, let it smolder because it's all damp and everything. And they have these big paddles that they go sliding through the malted barley with, rolling it over every so often as they're smoking this peat to give it that real smoky character that Islay's are known for. But this one is not. And I am not a heavy, smoky, heavy, peaty kind of scotchy guy. Uh, and so this one is really, really high on my list because it's like the only Islay I'll drink. Uh, Lagavulin, if you've ever had it, is a heavily, heavily, in my opinion, peated and smoky Scotch. And it's not me. I know it's been all the rage for a few years, but it's not me. Now, this particular spirit just pours like sunlight. I mean, it is just like it's reflecting off the seawater. Just that luminous, almost electric kind of gold color. Doesn't look anything like the bourbons or anything like that you could be familiar with. Um, and as you tilt the glass, you just see it kind of glow. It's got very, very elegant legs that stand really well in the glass. Oh, and it's just got this like hinting at a like a silky and unhurried kind of texture to it. Now on the nose, this nose is unmistakably Bruichladdich. It's got notes of wildflower, honey, uh, some lemon zest, maybe some candied oranges, a little bit of vanilla cream in there. It's got some really, sorry, I'm watching the Paul Feinbaum show. Uh, um, where was I at? I was at vanilla cream, sweet malt, and kind of warm barley. Oh, it's just and there's just a faint, faint touch of salty sea breeze kind of drifting through it. No peat, just that beautiful coastal air from Scotland. Oh, it's bright, it's florally, it's confident without being loud. Oh, it is one of the best smelling scotches around, in my opinion. I mean, it is just wonderful, wonderful. Oh, and you would think, as much as I'm raving about it, that it would be number one on my list, but it's not. I need a bottle of this scotch because I've only got about that much left, and I'd really like to pair it again. Yeah, my number one is the Dalmore 12-year-old. Uh, that's my top of the heap right there. But Bruichladdich is right up in there in the running. I'm telling you. Now on the palate, wow. Uh, just as I'm letting that percolate on my taste buds, I see that LSU is finalizing a massive offer for Lane Kiffin. Boy, Ole Miss is going to be pissed if he takes that. On the palate, this classic Laddie offers some really sweet kind of citrusy oils, some malted vanilla, uh, maybe a little bit of honeycomb mixed in there, uh, kind of a creamy, almost shortbread-like kind of roundness to it. There's a little bit of soft oak, and then a clean kind of minerally iodine kind of finish. Uh, Typical of a coastal Scotch. Uh, you can think Talisker. Talisker is it's an island Scotch right there on the coast. It's got that kind of salty, briny kind of hints to it. Not overpowering, but it's something that you don't normally get in other whiskeys that you get in a coastal Scotch. So it is elegant and inviting, and it's perfectly at home being paired with a kind of naturally sweet Nicaraguan cigar. Perfect segue, right? I learned something about Segway the other day. When Segway first came out, there was this guy didn't he loved riding Segways, and I don't know how he came into money, but he came into money and bought the company. And then Segway hit it big, hundreds of millions of dollars a year in sales. And he lived in England, and he was out riding a Segway one day on this little road that he always rides on. And as he was approaching this guy walking his dog from the other direction, and so he stopped and he was going to motion the guy to come on through. So he started backed up on his Segway and kind of turned to get out of the way. Well, this road set on the edge of an embankment, and he backed that Segway off of an embankment, and it killed him. And so the news, and I don't remember this. I just heard about it, somebody was telling the story the other day, and I was like, what? And so I went and looked it up, and it's true. Um, the news for weeks after that was how the owner of Segway had died on a Segway. Anyway, all right. Now, the Perdomo Lot 23, and this is the sun grown. Visually, it is a kind of a medium brown. It's spongy but resistant to the touch. It does have a little bit of give to it, but not a lot. Medium to moderate veining. Some of the veins are a little pronounced, as you can see right there, but not terrible. I mean, it's a good looking cigar. It's a well constructed cigar. Uh, the the seams on it are completely invisible. I don't even see any. I can't even tell they're there. Uh, it has a beautiful looking, very large uh, triple cap. Yeah, triple cap. I do see a few minor little like flaws in it, like right there, and where's it? Right there, the bottom. Um, we'll see how it goes. It's got this warm kind of, I mean, this kind of warm terracotta kind of brown wrapper that's just got this, it's kind of a medium brown, but it does have this kind of uh, very subtle, like coppery kind of glow to it, just some hints of orange. Really pairs well with the orange striping on the band. Um, it's got a light oil sheen to it. Um, it's toothy, very elegant. Um, I don't know what else I can say about it. It's a great looking leaf. Um, let's go ahead and give it a nose. I get some notes of cedar shavings, a little bit of earthiness, um, maybe some kind of sweet hay mixed in there. Let's go ahead and give it a cut. Check out the cold draw. Beautiful cut using the my old Cigar cutter. Thought about bringing out the Cassetti, but like, the Cigar is already laying out here, so we'll just go with that. Now on the cold draw, I get a little more earthiness. Um, I get maybe a little sprinkle of cinnamon in there. Maybe some nuttiness along the lines of like peanuts or even just peanut shells. And maybe just a little hint of like raisin. So let's go ahead and fire this up and see what it gives us. As I'm toasting the foot up, I make sure I'm kind of making the circles all around, try and get it lit evenly. I kind of give a little breath on the end of it just to make sure that everything as it glows up appears to be completely lit, so I don't have any weird kind of canoeing or anything like that. On the light, I get some nice notes of sweet cedar, some more roasted nuts, uh, maybe a little touch of black pepper in there, and then some nice like toasted grain notes. It's a really good cigar. Let's try them together. And as you notice, the cigar is putting off a really nice volume of smoke. It's not a smoke monster, but it's not hard to get smoke out of it. These have a really nice synergy together as I swap hands here. I really need the cigar in my left hand and the drink in my right. Just kind of like that. This is a really beautiful contrast right from the very beginning. The whiskey's kind of florally brightness cuts through the cedar warmth in the stick, while the cigar's nuttiness sort of teases out kind of the deeper layers of malt in the whiskey. I mean, they really do go very well together. I don't really feel like one is like overpowering the other. They are just kind of working very well together, just kind of staying in contrast to one another or equality to one another. However you want to say that. Sometimes I'm not good with words, but I have to say Nick Perdomo does an excellent job uh, making cigars. I'd love to meet him sometime. I've yet to have that opportunity. I really have yet to have that opportunity on any of the cigar makers. So if you happen to have contacts, I'd be happy to talk to somebody. The only person that I've interviewed from the cigar industry is from Big Sky Cigars in Montana. Yeah, and they don't make them in Montana. They're made down in Nicaragua. They go and prepare their blends, whatever they want, and factory down there makes it for them. They got some really good cigars too, and they're not expensive. They are the only cigar manufacturer that's headquartered in Montana. So yeah, I need to get some more Big Skies. I hadn't had any in a while. It's got a really really good burn line to it. No big humps or anything in it. Nice stacks of kind of whitish gray ash. I can never get the back and forth up and down thing going. I can get the up and down, but the back and forth kind of messes me up. So yeah, it's a very well constructed cigar. That's a very odd commercial going on there for a dishwashing detergent. Uh, there were some ladies eating meatballs out of the pan. Kind of looked almost vampirish in the way they were enjoying this. And then there's a boy who has a clear glass plate with something on it, and he's licking it off the plate. Like, that's very strange. Didn't have one little right there. It's hard to kind of see. Yeah, kind of a weird spot right there. Hmm. And I just showed it to you a second ago. That wasn't there. It just appeared. It looks like something in the roll. We'll see. All right, what else is going on? Well, I'm doing this on Monday because I was in College Station over the weekend and couldn't get time to do a live stream while I was down there. I was watching my Texas A&M Aggies have a little light workout against Samford. I thought they were out of South Carolina. I keep seeing people say Alabama. I don't know. Somewhere down in the southeast. Hmm. Lane Kiffin's still trying to dance around and uh, not commit without committing. You know, uh, I'm pretty sure LSU is going to offer him a massive amount of money to come take the helm of their football program because they're in disarray. At this point, they may roll out Ed Orgeron again. I love him. Can't understand a thing he's saying, but I love him. He's funny as he can be. Yeah. Tell him, Ed. I have no idea what he just said. Uh, anyway, down in took the two teen girls down to A&M. First time we've been down there in a couple of years because after COVID, it was just kind of hard to get things worked out to get down there. I love going down there at least once a year for a game. I already got reservations for next year because you have to make them a year in advance, or you ain't gonna get a place to stay unless you're staying at Motel 6. But so we after the game went over to the bookstore, wandered around in there. They're at the age now. When we were going before, well, they were small. They just know that they're at a ball game. That's all they know. But now they're actually taking things in, and they're starting. Because my uh, middle daughter is she'll be 17 in February. She's a junior. In a year and a half, she's going to be deciding she's going to have to already have everything in place where she's going, and that's where she wants to go. You don't have to see about the grades, but because she's smart, she can be a good student. Uh, she's not always the most motivated. So, where the next one, the last one, the youngest one, she is highly motivated, straight A's. Wants to be a veterinarian. Have never wanted to be anything else but a veterinarian. Uh, and yeah, she'll get in, no problem. But it's so great to go down. A lot of the other college, the other programs around the country, they're like, "Oh, those Aggies, that's a cult down there," and we're like, "Okay, yeah, you're saying that like it's a bad thing. I mean, we're perfectly happy with that." You go down. Being in College Station is just a different feeling. Uh, Everybody is like, "Howdy, how you doing?" Helpful. It's just a great place to be. I love it down there. Uh, and so now they're at the age now where they're like taking this all in, and they're like, yeah, they've never wanted to go anywhere but A&M. I did. My oldest daughter went to A&M. Uh, my I did one of my graduate programs at A&M. Uh, they're just going to go to A&M. That's what you do. You're A&M generation after generation, and but now they're actually comprehending what's going on around them, and they love it. I mean, there was 106,000 people there on Saturday, and all the students stand up the entire time, from the first kickoff to the final gun, because it's the home of the 12th man. E. Gill, forgot his last name. Damn it. Anyway, it's back in the 1920s. he had played football, but had moved to playing basketball. And he was up in the stands, the football game. Uh, they only had like 11 players. So they played offense, defense the whole time, or maybe they had a little more than that. Anyway, they'd had some injuries. And uh, they were using their last man. And so the coach looked around and saw Gil up in the stands, and he motioned him down, and he's like, "Suit up." So that's what he did. He went and he put football uniform on. And he never did need him, but he stood there on the sidelines waiting, just in case he was needed. The 12th man. So now all the students stand the entire game, just in case they're needed to come down and put on the uniform. And that's the kind of tradition at A&M that makes it different. Anyway, it's I think it's been a great year for us. We're 11-0. Overall, I think it's kind of a down year for the SEC just overall, even though I think top to bottom, the SEC is still the strongest conference in the country, top to bottom. You have conferences that may have 3 or 4, even 5, like really strong teams, and then the bottom of the conference, it's terrible. But the bottom of the conference in the SEC can go to the bottom of the conference in another conference and just beat the snot out of them. It's the SEC. It's a lot stronger. I mean, it just is, top to bottom. Now, there is one conference out there that does not apply to, Pac-12, which is actually the Pac-2. Go look that up. There's 2 teams in the Pac-12. I discovered that this weekend, just fumbling around looking at stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, where's the other teams here? No, I can't remember the other team, but one of them's Washington State. And there's some more teams. They're gonna take some teams from other conferences, and there's some legal battles going on and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so hopefully the Pac-12 will be back to closer to 12 before too long. And so yeah, you have the top of the conference and the bottom of the conference. There's only 2 teams. I think y'all hear my doorbells going off. The 90-pound Shetland pony and the 50-pound bag of legs. That's all he is. He's 50 pounds, but I think 40 of them are legs. Hopefully, they're delivering my book. Uh, I I have a new book published. Has nothing to do with spirits or cigars, though. Maybe I need to write one about that. It's a book about not Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Jackson, Stonewall Jackson. Could write one on Thomas Jefferson, I guess. So, hey, if you want the book, go buy it. It's written more as like for middle school, high school. I mean, it's not like that. It's like 100 pages. Hits a lot of the highlights. Tells you some things that is not really taught in most of the history books, and I mean, I find it pretty entertaining. Comes in Kindle, paperback, and hardback. You can get it in hardback. And if you do buy it, you can mail it to me. I'll autograph it for you for nothing, free. Some of you, if you're watching for the first time or whatever, may wonder about the whole smoke in the glass thing. Doesn't mean anything. I do it. I don't see anybody else that does it. So it kind of makes me unique, I guess. Um, the way I see it, I'm taking a draw and then I'm taking a sip, if I take the draw, expel the smoke, and then take a sip, a couple of seconds has expired, right? But if I'm holding the smoke in my mouth, it is permeating my taste buds, letting me taste all of the different flavors. And then as I'm pulling the glass up to take a sip, I'm blowing the smoke into the glass. Just as the spirit touches my tongue, I now have the smallest possible time between the smoke and the spirit and those flavors melding together. I find it pretty cool. But remote control, that dude, I know y'all probably can't hear it, but that dude, old school from Biloxi, Mississippi, is being very loud. It's a call-in show. I don't know, he's either talking about Lane Kiffin or he's talking about how A&M sucks. That's pretty much what it doesn't matter what else could be the thing. Lane Kiffin leaving Mississippi, but the other thing is going to be that Texas A&M sucks. But if we suck so bad, why aren't we 11-0? Well, y'all only played the bottom half of the SEC. Well, that's true today. We did play Notre Dame. They're not in the SEC, but they were ranked number 8 at the time. We did play LSU. They were 20th at the time. They started at like number 6, and they had moved up to number 3. Then they played Ole Miss, and kind of the wheels started coming off. And by the time we played them, they were 20th. And we played them, and they fired their coach because we just embarrassed them. Sorry, LSU fan, but that's true. Uh, we beat them on Saturday night in Death Valley, their home stadium, which is just like, oh, y'all are never going to win at Death Valley on a Saturday night. Oh, we did more than win. I think we actually let them score a touchdown with just like a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we still won by like 25. Beat Missouri. They were still in the top 25. May not be today. I have to look and see because I think Vanderbilt beat them. I was doing a lot of traveling. We were going out to eat and going to the game and doing all this kind of stuff. I really didn't get to keep up much with what ended up happening around the SEC over the weekend. But all I know is we won. Which is really all that matters. As I see one of the littles roaming around in the background. That's what we call the teenagers. Because we've got 38, 30, 16, 15. So we got the bigs and we got the littles. We figured out how that stuff works. So I'm telling you, if you have never tried the Classic Laddie from Bruichladdich, you are really missing out. It is an excellent Scotch. It does have that kind of Scotchy character to it, but it's not that heavy smoke and peat that you get from some of the other Islays. And I really like it. It's very good. Very good. You would almost think it was a Highland or a Speyside. But anyway, back to football. Because I have to have something to make up all this time while I'm trying to get to the halfway mark or the mid third, whatever you want to call it. Um, we got Texas Friday, last game of the year in Austin this year. Could be our only trip up all year long. Because I'm realistic. Texas fans say they're going to beat the snot out of us. Aggie fans says they're going to beat the snot out of them. I'm an Aggie fan, but I'm realistic. That's a 50-50 chance. It just is. And I would say that if they were playing at College Station too. I mean, Texas, they started number one, and then they fell all the way down. They almost fell out of the top 25 if they didn't fall out. They got close to like down in like 20. um, but they've been they've been springing back, and that's and that's the hallmark of a team that can win. If they can have all these problems in the first part of the game or the first part of the season, and then they come back. The same with A&M, where we were down at South Carolina, 30 to 31, 30 to nothing, 30 to 3. I think it was 30 to 3. And we ended up winning 31-30. We came back. We were resilient. But the regular fan, like regular Texas fan, they will say, well, you shouldn't have been down by 27 points. Well, maybe we shouldn't have. But shoulda, coulda, we won. So, and it's the same with them. They had a bad first part of the year, but they're really coming on. And I'm giving them their due, you know, hoping that our elite level defense can go ahead and take care of business. I really don't. We'll go ahead and tap this off before it falls in my lap, but you can see just these wonderful stacks. It's got a little Peyronie's disease going on there, but just beautiful stacks of ash. Uh, my youngest says they're watching The Grinch. Okay, thank you. See the text messages pop up. So the person that hearted, that liked the show, thank you. All half a dozen or whatever it is, all of you, hit the like button. Give me a like. I want to see it. Let's go. Mark them up. Ding 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 ding. Everybody, just hit the like button, just for the hell of it. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm happy to see we got a half a dozen people watching. I'm very happy. Thank you. It's a Monday. There's a lot of people having to work. I took off. So, and I figured since I wasn't able to live stream over the weekend, I can do it on Monday. And I knew I wouldn't have as many people watching, but you know, I still want to because it stays. You can go watch it later. So I'll be posting it. Hey, for all those that couldn't watch it because you were at work, here it is again. Go watch it. Oh, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. If you ain't never tried it, it's delicious. I love it. Now, I think we're somewhere here in the second, third, halfway mark, whatever you want to call it. And the the classic Laddie has kind of brought in some richer, kind of honeyed barley kind of tones to it. Uh, you've got a really nice kind of soft oak in there, and a kind of a mellow, uh, citrusy sweetness. Um, the Lot 23 Perdomo, it has kind of shifted to something along the lines of toasted almonds, maybe a little bit of kind of dry cocoa, kind of a creamy woodiness, uh, and the earthy notes that Nicaraguans are typically known for is it's becoming a little rounder and sweeter. Um, I mean, this is a really great cigar. I've had the Lot 23 before, but there's different kinds of Lot 23. This one is the sun grown, and it's really good. It's really good. Uh, the pairing has really kind of hit its sort of sweet spot. The vanilla and the citrus from the whiskey has paired perfectly with the almonds and the cocoa from the cigar. Um, creating something kind of like a orange zested biscotti dipped in malted cream. There you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And honestly, the balance is just perfect. Neither one of these is overshadowing the other. I mean, it's a very, very great balanced pairing. Really enjoying it. It's a great way to spend a Monday. Been better if if it was a Saturday or a Sunday, but you take what you can get. I really wanted to try and live stream this weekend, but we got in at like 11. Got into the hotel at like 11 on Friday night. Got in bed. It was like 12:30, and the game was an 11 o'clock game, which I was like, that's gonna be tough. I don't really want to be rushed. I'm not a rushing person in the morning. I want to get up, kind of take my time. It's just how I am. But we got up, went in the hotel, had breakfast. So we went down and had breakfast, and we were at the stadium at between 9:30 and 10. We kind of wandered around because we've got some friends that they will tailgate uh, out there, but they weren't there for that particular game. Um, so we went ahead and went inside, got our seats, got sit down. We were on the third row from the end zone on the south end zone. Uh, and I mean, it was a really great time from the opening kickoff. We did actually get up and start heading for the door with about 2.5 minutes left in the game because our aisle was where the gate was going out into the end zone, and it had been senior day. So you had all these family members that were like lining up in our aisle as this stairway to get out onto the field. And we were like, this is going to be an absolute cluster hump when that gun goes off. We're going to go ahead and start heading for the door. And then we went over to the bookstore, and we were parked in the central garage. So by the time we got around to the garage, it's like an hour or so after the game ended. Traffic was already, I mean, they do an excellent job of getting people out of there. Didn't have any problems getting off campus. We went back to the hotel. My wife and the two kiddies, they took a nap while I sat and watched ESPN. And then we went to Texas Roadhouse because we always go to Texas Roadhouse when we're down in College Station. But you can't go to College Station without going to the Dixie Chicken. So we went to the Chicken on Sunday for lunch. We thought about doing it on Saturday, but I'm like, game day, 11 o'clock, got done at like 2 or 2:30. Mm, don't know about having the teenagers down in the bar scene at on a Saturday night after a big win. Um, so we went to the Roadhouse, and then we went to the Chicken on Sunday. So you got to go to the Chicken. Walk down Bottle Cap Alley. All the things that make A&M A&M. And then we went over the the oldest daughter was in AKIO, so we went over and drove down Sorority Row and took a picture of the house and sent it to her. We were like, "Hey, look where we are!" And she's like, "Oh my God, that's a lifetime ago." Girl, it's 8 years ago, not a lifetime. I was Lambda Chi Alpha. That was a lifetime ago. But it was a great game. I loved being back in College Station again for the first time in a while. Already got the. I've made the reservations while we were down there for next year, uh, and it was just I don't know. It was even though it's like a 3.5 hour drive down and back, so you're talking 7 hours in the car. Still, we got down there. It was a great time, you know, and it was a great time with the teenagers because they're at the point now where they kind of get it, and they kind of understand. Uh, the middle daughter that's kind of on the grades. I'm really pushing her to go to the Corps. I think it'd do her a lot of good to be in the Corps. The military did me a world of good. ROTC would do her a lot of good. I just think it would help, you know, uh, whether she decided to go in the military or not, which I don't think she would, but she might. You never know. The largest ROTC program in the country, 1,600 people are in the Corps. Up until the 1960s, A&M was a all male, basically military school, uh, agricultural mechanical school. So they're known for their veterinary program and their engineering program. And now they have their law school that they bought off of TCU a few years ago. It's over in Fort Worth. That's what the middle daughter was thinking about, law school. But we're like, you don't like going to school now. I went to law school. A lot of reading. And it's not, and we're not talking about, you know, Ernest Hemingway, something like that. We're talking like boring ass reading. And I can say it was. I graduated. 47 minutes. Man, we're doing good. I'm actually probably going to get finished with a cigar before this is over. And I know I'm kind of wandering back and forth on the A&M thing, but we got the Texas game this weekend on Friday, 6:30. I have to actually be. I'm off until after Thanksgiving, and then I'll be back. I'm in the office on Friday, but I will. I'll probably do some. I don't know. I'll probably leave early because I need to get home because the game kicks off at 6:30. I don't know. We may go somewhere for the game. Um, and but if we win, then we're going to have one out. We're going to be 12-0, first time in school history, and that's going to put us into the SEC championship game against any one of Alabama, Georgia. I can't remember. I think there was another team, maybe Ole Miss mixed in there. Us, all we have to do is win. If we win, we're in. The other schools, things have to happen because they all have losses. We'll be the only SEC team that's undefeated, and we've already basically kind of punched our ticket to the college football playoffs. It's just if we stay undefeated, we're guaranteed a first round bye. So, and depending on where we were placed, we could end up facing Georgia Tech, which would be funny. Of course, Georgia Tech lost this weekend. They may not even be in it by then. But the quarterback for Georgia Tech, he transferred from A&M because he wasn't going to be able to get. He wasn't going to be a starter. He wasn't going to get playing time. That would really be funny, and we just beat the shit out of them. Be like, should have stayed at A&M. I am not predicting any of that yet. I have found don't predict stuff because I'm not good at it. If I predict it, it's going to be wrong. So I always say, we can. We can win out. We can win games in the playoffs. We can win a national title. Will we? I don't know. Maybe. College football is hard to predict because they're 20 something kids, some of them even teenagers. You never know what's going to happen. but I've got to where I watch a whole lot more college football than I do pro. I used to be a pro guy because I lived in Memphis for a lot of years, and University of Memphis was not a good program. They've gotten better. Matter of fact, until like a week ago, they were being rumored as being into the college football playoffs. Then they lost to like Tulane or somebody. No, South Florida. They lost to South Florida. And then all of a sudden, South Florida is in the college football playoff rumors. So, we'll see about that. But yeah, so I watched a lot of pro ball, but you know, I've been an A&M guy since the 80s. You're like, really? You weren't living in Texas then? Yeah. But as a teenager, I watched The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. I became a Texas A&M fan. Whatever drives you to a school. But that was a wonderful movie. I loved it. Hey, and we're getting more folks on. And I guess people are starting to take off early because it's Thanksgiving week here in the U.S. If any of you are not in the U.S., so we'll kind of go back over as we're starting to get down, and we've only got about 8 or 9 minutes left before I have to cut this off. I am pairing Bruichladdich, the Classic Laddie. Bruichladdich is an Islay, Islay Scotch, which is typically known for its smoke and peat. Islay is. The Classic Laddie is not. It is a unpeated Scotch. But it has some wonderful notes in it of like kind of citrus oils and malted barley, a little bit of honey, some kind of creamy, almost shortbready kind of notes to it. It is a beautiful spirit in the glass that's got great legs to it. You really love it. If you are not a heavy smoke, heavy peat person, you could drink Bruichladdich as a Islay Scotch, definitely. And I'm pairing it with the Perdomo Lot 23. This is the sun grown. They have a Lot 23, they have the sun grown, and then they have a Maduro. Oh no, one of the condos in where I'm looking to buy a condo sold. Okay. I got to sell mine first. If anybody's looking to buy a condo, I got one for sale in Panama City Beach. So, yeah, hit me up. I'll send you the link to it. The cigar. I mean, Perdomo does. I mean, Nick Perdomo knows what he's doing making cigars. He's really good. Uh, Sorry, what is Alabama? They were making. I don't know what kind of. They're making some kind of comments anyway. But the Perdomo has got some really nice notes of like sweet cedar and roasted nuts. There's a little bit of pepper in there. It's Nicaraguan. Nicaraguan's known for the pepper. A little bit of toasted grain. It is just a wonderful cigar that, even though it's not the typical like really light tan Connecticut wrapper with Nicaraguan filler and binder. It is easy to smoke. So if you are fairly new to cigars, you've been smoking Connecticut's, the light shade ones, kind of the tan color wrappers, you're looking to maybe get a little darker. This is very well could be the cigar that's your next step. I always say start with training wheels on and work up, because if you try to smoke a cigar that's got a really dark wrapper on it and you're not ready for it, not going to be a good day for you. And together, um, the vanilla and the citrus from the spirit has really just worked very well with the nuttiness. And as we got into the cigar, the kind of cocoa sweetness. And it has really been a great time for those of you that have been here the entire time. So if you haven't, you need to go back and watch the whole thing. Love it. Got another little right there. It's kind of reading some of the reviews uh, on some of the different online cigar dealers, vendors, Scars International, like that. And there had been some that said they had some, some construction problems. Ohio State, A&M, Indiana, greater than a 99% chance of going to the college football playoffs. Now I guess we've got Ohio State, Michigan coming up. Michigan, I think, won this last week. It's a really, really great cigar. Really great. Very great. Awesome. Stupendous. Wonderful. We're going to run out of time, and I am getting close, but I'm not quite there. But I think as we've even gotten farther past the halfway mark, um, um, the spirit mixed with the smoke from the cigar has really kind of given us a little more of a, say, a like salted caramel, um, with a little bit of barley kind of sugar. It's in the 50s here, and it's very, very humid. So I'm seeing my breath a little bit, but it's not that cold. Um, the cigar, the cocoa has gotten kind of a little bit darker, and I think there's probably been a little bit of maybe espresso coming through. With some a little bit stronger earthiness, and some little bits, some more hints of pepper, like black pepper. Um, the whiskey has really done a very good job of kind of smoothing out the cigar's earth and cocoa, while the cigar adds structure and just a touch of spice to the whiskey sweetness. Um, I mean, the puffs and the sips are just, they're long and warm and complex. It's just been a wonderful dance back and forth. Overall, uh, it's been a very good dialogue or debate back and forth between the coastal elegance of the spirit and the sun-grown earthiness of the cigar. The Lot 23 offers warmth, nuts, cedar, cocoa, kind of a natural grounded sweetness, while the Laddie brings in honey and citrus. And it's just been a wonderful dance back and forth. Together, they create a session that I think is really harmonious. I mean, it really is. It's very harmonious, balanced, and deeply relaxing. I'm very relaxed right now. Um, and I think on a day like today, you'd enjoy it very much. I really do. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off now because we just topped over an hour. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, tell all your friends, loved ones, everybody. Crazy ass dude talks about all kinds of crap while he's smoking a cigar and drinking some sort of spirit, and you might like it. You'd find it entertaining. Be sure to go on my social media, especially on X. You can find links to my and Instagram, I think. Links to the Sticks-n-Stonez store on Amazon, where you can pick you up a really great Sticks-n-Stonez t-shirt. Uh, the biggest selling one is the "Here Am I, Send Me" on the back. It's got a desert camo soldier, his M4 at the ready, helmet, goggles, bandana, and it's got above him, "And the Lord said, whom shall I send, and who shall go for us?" And then underneath it, it says, "Here am I, Lord, send me." Until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold. Have a great day.